But that's besides.
It'd be your other. It'd be your other self. Yeah.
It sound better when you say
this one dude from over here.
Exactly. Like. We was cutting at a barbershop in Barber College, right? The little owner of the school was, I'm not gonna say he was a hater, he was just by the book. So they heard me and my homegirl were cutting at this barbershop, and they came in, saw if we were there. I want to say she was there that day, and then the next day they called state board, and it was a hassle because so this particular friend, and she's doing amazing, by the way. At that time, she didn't have a car, didn't have income coming in, but still needed it. So was trying to make that by working at the shop after school, on the weekends, yada yada, and it was closed off completely because it was a big fine. So the apprenticeship changed that in that way.
Yeah, facts.
The only thing with the apprenticeship is you got to really select a good shop to be at because you're not going to learn outside of that environment.
Yep, I agree. That's why I love when Signature comes in as the best barbershop in the world. I'm going to say it again, in the world. Because when you got the apprenticeship program, like I said, 18 months, it's affordable. There's no other school in the high desert you can go to, or even down the hill, students from down the hill, students from other states, students who just moved out here, or that have been living out here, and they're now joining the school, and they realize, it's pretty easy, it's affordable. You're almost, we were opening more locations, so it's almost, you know what I'm saying, you're going to have a guaranteed job or at least opportunity to see if you're ready for it. That's another thing I want to tell people too, that a lot of people don't know. Signature's opening 2 more shops in Victorville off 7th Street and another one off Hesperia Road in Bear Valley next month in May.
You're really good with these sponsorships throwing.
I just, because, you got to take every opportunity for what it is, man. Y'all ever seen that movie, what's it called? Coco. The dude said, "Seize your moment." You feel me? You gotta make sure people know what it is. So, he was a bad guy in the movie, but he made really good sense. Okay, seize your moment. Don't mess anybody over. Don't hurt anybody. Seize your moment. Let people know what you got going on, and attack those goals. That's all I mean. Don't be the bad guy. We don't want to be. We're not the bad guy. But make sure you guys keep your eyes open for that and be ready because we're gonna be coming out with some fire. And if you're trying to be seen over there, you want to work with us, make sure you tap in and you follow us and subscribe. Leave a like, leave a comment. We want to know who you are and what you got to bring to the table so we can make ends meet. But speaking of Victorville though, you seen our boy put on for the boxing match on Saturday.
Ryan.
Yeah. Shout out to my boy Ryan. You put on a great show. Did 7 rounds. He's still young.
So I respected him way more after the fight. I have a dislike for Ryan, just because the way he looks, bro. I don't know if that sounds wrong. It's just he got that face that you look at I want to test it. Not saying I would. He is a boxer, but if we were at a party and I'm angry and I'm trying to fight someone, I would probably look for him. But he can fight. I'm not saying I want to fight him, but it's just his face is dislikable. After the fight, the way he handled that, though, my respect grew 1,000%. He's a real humble, young kid. He's just out here looking for the guidance. I don't think he has the right team around him. But yeah, that fight, I didn't watch the whole fight, right? I watched a little bit of it. The fight was solid, man. He
came out strong. I saw the whole fight. It was cool. I saw the whole fight. Another fun fact, I don't know if he wants people to know this. I don't think he cares either, but his brother, Sean, we went to high school together. He used to box in the locker rooms and stuff like that, play basketball. They're pretty fun people to be around. They're really goofy too. But just to see their growth, or at least see from a personal standpoint, Sean, seeing how he started, I wasn't really around his brother like that, but I knew of him. Like I said, it's crazy to see people from where they started to where they are now and just how they're able to live life and maneuver and opportunities they have. It's pretty cool, But shout out to them, you feel me? My boy Tank won,
Who are you going for?
You really gonna ask me that right now?
Yeah. Because it threw me off when you said the other name.
I ain't gonna lie. No, I was going for Ryan though. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like
it's not what I expected.
Yeah, nobody expected me to say that. I ain't gonna lie though. I've always like rooted for Tank. I'm not gonna lie, but this fight, especially because I'm out here, live out here. I gotta pay respect to the city as far as who I'm gonna go for. But just based on dynamics and size, I thought Ryan was gonna win, honestly. But I always kept in the back of my head, the only way I could see him losing is if he didn't protect himself. And Tank, he was critical. He made sure I saw exactly how he won too. Not just off the punch, but let's say the knockout didn't happen. He made sure that Ryan couldn't use his left hand. He couldn't use his left hook. He stayed tight. You feel me?
Where'd you watch the fight at?
I was at Coworker House. I was at my boy Sal house.
Y'all paid for it?
Sal did. I didn't pay for it. I didn't pay for nothing. I watched the fight for free. Yep, the pizza and all. Went to Buffalo Wild Wings after that. Shout out to Buffalo Wild Wings. Appreciate that.
When he came in and he was just kind of swinging away, that's when I kind of knew he was. Now I don't want to say. I guess the best word is eager. He was too eager up front.
Oh yeah, he was hungry.
Tank came in a little more strategic, and I feel like strategy will always outdo anything that comes to it. But yeah, that fight was solid though, man. Like I think that's the future of boxing.
Did you think it was under more than 7 rounds?
To be 100% honest with you, so I know enough sports to like talk about how we just talked about. I don't watch sports at all, bro. I just know a little bit to keep my man card. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, good fight.
Yeah, like we got a dude named Ant the same way, and his boy Will. They do the same thing, but they don't pay attention to sports. They just sit at home, watch popcorn and TV. That's all it is.
I usually just listen to what other people say and then reuse that with like the other group of men and just go back and forth.
Oh yeah.
But I don't watch. I haven't watched basketball since Kobe retired. I've never watched football in my life. I've never watched a single game of football. Never watched a single game of baseball.
You built like a football player, bro. That doesn't make any sense.
Thank you. Was that a compliment?
No, that was just description of how you feel like you look like a football player. Oh, thank you. I don't touch football. I don't play football, but thank you.
I don't watch soccer unless it's the World Cup. And even then, I only watch the finals. I'm not a sports head like that. I try to fake it, like I said, to keep my man card, but it's not my thing. So if we keep going on the sports section, you're gonna hear all the little. That's something I mastered, I think, as a barber, how to just carry it on, like, oh hell yeah, and then I usually find someone else in the room that knows whatever they're talking about.
Oh, and be like,
hey.
Come over here quick.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk about this sport that I don't know about.
And then I just exit. My longtime clients who are now friends, right, know like when I would get quiet was usually just a sports conversation. Besides that, I could talk all day.
Hey, and I just thought about this right now too. Obviously I know this, but you worked with us too. What's your experience?
Not even realizing just now.
Yeah, I'm like, this dude. I don't see essential loader. I forgot I even knew this guy. I forgot I knew him already. But yeah, you worked with us, and you've been working with us for. I forgot when you honestly.
I think I'm at like 6 to 8 months right now. So,
really?
Yeah.
I thought I was like 5, bro. You know why?
Well, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. Like 7 months.
Okay. No, that's cool. That's we're almost May now, huh? It's been time is going by fast. But no, I was gonna say, what's your experience like working there, especially since you've been down the hill and the way you do your clientele? What's it been like? How do you like it? What would you rather do? Booth rent, commission? I love to ask
you
different.
Want the full answer?
I honestly do. I feel like that's what they need to hear because, like I said, you come from a different area, blah blah. And they need to know.
So this is a very different market, right? It's taken me like 6 months to really dial in and figure out this market. But I'll start from the top, right? Booth rent or commission. I think it depends on the barber, and I think it depends on the goals, right? If you trying to hustle and cut, booth rent's where it's at, right? And you gotta keep cutting to keep making that money. If you don't have a plan, it's a trap. You're about to just get stuck doing that, right?
Exactly.
I also believe not every barber is designed to hustle for themselves. Not everybody got that mentality to really make it by themselves. Like some of us need someone else's structure to succeed. As far as commission, if the shop is correct and coming correct and providing the right things, more than anything, providing the traffic, commission is perfect. And if you could balance the two and find somewhere where, not that you have those options, but you could get the freedom control that you desire at a commission price and not have to give that money up and really master how to work those funds.
I think I like your answer too. I was gonna say, like you said, they need to rely on somebody else's business structure to make their money. I'm gonna get right here to make their money and everything. I feel like that's a really good point because like even with people working in restaurants, whatever industry, clothing stores, those are like if you didn't have to rely on somebody else's business structure, you just go make your own clothes.
Exactly.
Just make your own food type thing. I feel like people don't understand. Barbering is just another field where most people, you're not going to rely on somebody else's business structure. But like you said, a lot of people don't have that dog, they don't have that. Not saying you don't, but that creative business mindset to where I'm going to structure this and how this, I'm going to calculate my money, my schedule, my clients, and move accordingly to that. A lot of people don't have that type of structure, so therefore they have to rely on another business to do so for them.
My issue with commission, I have issues on both sides, right? My issue with commission is it designs a barber that doesn't bring anything to the table. Not 100% of the barbers, but let's say 50-50, to where it's like they just here to cut, which works for certain businesses. Now, I like being around
the hustlers.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes at an all commission shop, you don't find that because they don't have no skin in the game, right? The problem with booth rent is you run into almost the same type of person, just now they're free. So now you're surrounded by lazy, unprofessional people who think that just because they pay your booth rent, they could do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And what Signature has is they have a structure. He created a structure that blows my mind, right? So the reason I came here is based. So I was part-timing for a little bit, right? Doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays. And then I came here when I seen like the big plan, right? And I seen how the breakdowns work, where there's incentives to work harder. There's this is the first shop I work at that has girls that seat the client, greet the client, clean the chairs, sweep the hair. I'm not doing nothing but cutting hair. It blew my mind just the way all that works into that commission, right? So if I'm really looking at it, I could make just as much depending on how much footwork I put in. But I think it's benefits to both. I think some people, like I have homies who are real artists and they're in this because they love the creativity and the freedom. I'm going to always tell them, go booth rent. And I feel like every barber should experience booth rent to understand the business. Because I also think
you got to.
A lot of barbers don't understand the cost of business, and you don't understand that till you're a booth rent barber. Like, I'm not going to come in for 2 weeks. You can't do that because you still got to pay booth rent. I don't have no clients this week. You still got to pay this.
And that discernment for sure. Well, let me get right here. It teaches them that discipline and that discernment.
Yeah, like I think it builds a certain type of person. And that's just me from watching this for years and years. It breaks you or makes you.
It's like, I was gonna say it's kind of like structure at home type shit. Like there's some people who have their kids do chores, some don't do no chores, but it's kind of like that. Like you put somebody through responsibilities and requirements, and then you'll see it'll make you or break you. It'll either make you hate doing that stuff, and then you'll have your kids not do it, or you'll wouldn't say fall in love with it, but you understand the importance of it because of what it will build you to be.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that's what's same thing with barbering. Like the right commission shop is not gonna make you do it, but if you still continue to do it, you're gonna learn as you go. But it makes it easier because it don't take time away from the cutting versus a booth rent. Yeah, it does. You have the more freedom, but when you have more freedom, you have less responsibility or less discipline.
Someone said this to me years ago, right? What did it say? He said something like death in the wrong hands, or freedom in the wrong hands equals death. There you go. And I feel like that's absolutely true. Like
that's
certain
deep.
peoples are gonna, you know what's funny? I say someone told me a lot of this stuff, I just be thinking, but that's besides the point.
It'd be your other self. Yeah.
It sound better when you say
this one dude from over here.
Exactly. Like when you say I thought about it, people are like, you always got it. It feels more important. It's like the glasses drop when I say something. Look. it just creates a different scene.
How many personalities do you have? Which one am I speaking to right now? Is number 4?
So that's another thing that the I feel like the barbers coming in forget is you have to be able to turn on and off depending on who's in your chair.
Yep.
And that is like an art that everyone should master. I'm about to lie, but just let me lie. I'm gonna clarify my lie after. So my instructor in barber school gave me a book and I read it. Right, it was called How to Gain Friends and Influence People. Mm-hmm. And I went from like $100 weekend to a $600 weekend. And what the book basically talks about is how to be that person to different people to make sure you're getting the best out of the situation. I feel like it's key for anyone's success behind the chair. So the lie is I never actually read the book, but I read pieces of the book enough to understand it. But I feel like you're supposed to be able to turn off. Like I'm supposed to be me all day, but I'm supposed to be able to listen to everything and then, you know what I mean, know what
filter
tone
it,
and yeah,
filter
exactly,
it and know what to put back out type stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, so yeah, it is like multiple personalities, and people who work next to me for a long time know how many different levels to it is. And I've worked with the last group I worked with. It's my boy Chris and Nate, right? I think we all mastered it to such a T. We could just read the room so well and know when it was time to like, all right, like we talking about this right now. All right, we're gonna talk about this, and just gravitate. And then we'd have that little IQs like,
no facts.
Hey, cut it. This ain't the dude for that.
Yep.
And it created a very fluid structure.
Too.
Yeah, exactly.
You had that experience to know when to shut the not right now, bro.
This ain't the person. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? This ain't the conversation that you want to have with. This like you want to. At the end of the day, the client is what you got to pay attention to as far as whether it's in your chair or the guy next to you or the one across the room. They got eyes on everybody, and like I said, you don't want to be having that negative type of conversation either. You know, around certain people, but just like even if it's positive, if it's about something. Like you said, there's things you don't talk about in the shop or the place of business because of X, Y, and Z. Like, you got to be 4 eyes and some more. You know what I'm saying? It's just like watching on the road. You got to make sure you seeing who looking at you and who isn't.
The art of conversation is so underrated. If you can master that, you'll make endless amounts of money in your life. Like, how to be fluid as a speaker. And not that you won't have pauses because it takes time to just adapt, right? But just be super like, okay, like this is our tone. This is how we're going to do. It's not only going to get you money, it's going to get you the right circle around you. And it's going to get people to actually care about what you're saying at a higher extent or higher level.
Definitely.
By learning that. And what that category is a speech. Is that what you would call it? The art of conversation, whatever. If you could figure that out, you'll be okay in this industry completely.
Well, what you say is it called a speech? You just say speech or just language that you can speak between a specific person. You know, like some people they have that language where it's just eye contact or it's just like telepathy. Like they just know what this person's talking about, or like hey, like. And it's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? It's like that type of thing. Or you got to talk to them slow or whatever. You know, whatever the case is. I feel like that experience right there is definitely something that you got to pick up quick. Even if it takes you a long time, just make sure you master that because that's going to help you with other people and be more versatile, more diverse, and just help you in the game in the long run. And that's what this is all about at the end of the day. It's just getting that longevity from somebody like my boy Chief right here, you feel me? And I just feel like anytime somebody like this guy has something to say, just listen. You know, like I said, just listen. Even if he's old, even if he might be ashy, his outfit might be trash, but just know, even if he's 57 years old, this is something that you actually might want to listen to because it could take you to the next level. You know,
and I want to say the majority of game I picked up was from the old heads, and they would speak to me differently because they knew everyone loves to talk about themselves, right? And when it comes to old men, they love teaching or talking about their experiences, right? Mm-hmm. When you learn to listen, they're gonna feed you so much game it'll change your life forever. And mind you, I'm not at that age where people need to listen to me yet. I'm still young. But I do encourage everyone to really just hone in. Like, you could have a conversation with anyone and really pick something up. Another thing I learned from that's me lying again, right? This is just stuff I was telling myself. But I don't listen to people that aren't in a position where I don't want to be. So
yeah, you can't learn how to be a millionaire from a
exactly. You know? Like, we can shoot ideas back, but like, always look for the people that are what you want to be. Like, when I started cutting hair, it was 2 barbers that I saw and then I mimicked them, right? So one of them, Suave, one of the coldest barbers I've ever seen in my life, and then the other one's Napoleon. I studied them to a T. Like, everything they did, the way they ran their structure, what they had in common was they were both hustlers from morning to night, just all day. They worked like little machines. And I've never heard them complain. I'm big on that, right? Yeah. I never heard them complain about, oh, I'm tired, or I had a long day, or yada, yada. They were just robots. And I mimicked that. I mimicked the way they presented themselves in front of certain audiences. And then I've placed myself in circles to where now we can all share knowledge, and I've learned so much from both of them because I was open and able to listen and able to do that. I forgot how I started this whole sentence. But yeah, like, place yourself in those situations. Make sure you find someone you respect enough to listen to. Like, okay, you have what I want. Mind you, it was nothing financially that initially got me. It was just the discipline and rawness. Like, the first time I seen Napoleon, I came into his studio.
How old are you? 1974.
This was
82.
Hey, this was the early 30s. So I walk into the studio. He has a all Adidas tracksuit, right? Adidas everything. He's doing a cut. He's freehanding. He gives us a little and just quiet.
Yo, what's good?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he got that old player in him. Just, oh, what's up, man? Yeah. And he's freehanding this cut. And I know he's going, now being like seasoned, I know he's going harder because we're watching. Because I do the same thing now. If there's a young buck next to me, I'm like, yeah, I'll finesse it a little bit. You know what I mean? Do the little hand wave. I don't need to flick that hard, you know what I mean? But I'm going to flick it just to make the scene. And then right after that, there was rumors I heard of the amount of, I want to say the dude that day shot him 100 for the cut. This is like 2012, 2013. Which was just, cuts were still $12-15, right? So it was just like, wow. And then his whole shop was just a studio. Like, I'm coming from a creative background where I was enthused. Like, bro, y'all have a whole photo setup and video setup, and they were building an app and had these little videos popping up. I was completely soaked in. Like, all right, I want that.
That's crazy. That's a lot going on.
The first time I seen Suave, I pull up to an event, and mind you, I heard of Suave just like I heard of Napoleon over and over again. I go to an event, and it's the dopest thing I've seen, right? So they have him showcase. He's not even supposed to showcase, right? He does a haircut, and in the mind you, he has not barbers around him. He has all his clientele around him, and it threw me off because I've never seen clients be that close to their barbers till that point. And this is like 2014. And he's doing the haircut. He has his girl at the time. It was a female in there, right? Might be who he's married to now. Wiping his sweat, switching his hat so he stays cool. Then he lights this dude's head, bro. It was the flyest. The showmanship was.
Wait, so you think it's important who you keep around you, like female wise, like the significant other?
Absolutely,
because I feel like a lot of people, you know, they don't go for a barber, or the barber holds on to something.
You know, I feel like as a barber, you have to have a teammate that's just supportive.
She over here wiping the sweat off his head, changing the hats. That's crazy.
Had 2 or 3 hats and just switching them on.
So we got a question for you guys. This comes from Chris Ave, and he's a new barber, and he wants to know how important it is, or if it's even important, if his social media name has barber in it, and should he have a personal page and
You want to go for it?
I'll go ahead and answer this. I like
personal
this.
page away
this.
from his barber page.
Can I?
I'm gonna start. I got
right.
you. I got you. I actually like this question because this was a question I had back then before too. So I would say no, because either you don't have a page. I mean, you can have a personal account, but people want to see everything. They want to see not who you are outside of barbering and why, like, you know, like who you do it for.
So they want to see the lifestyle.
They want to see somewhat of lifestyle. I wouldn't say don't be too like. If I'm making,
Don't be young on there doing young stuff.
Don't be young on there doing. Don't be John Morant. Don't be John Morant. You know what I'm saying? Don't be the young guy who, yeah, you come from a humble place, deep within, but you're out here living this young lifestyle. They want to know you can play basketball, but they don't want to see you doing dumb stuff outside of that. That's what I'm saying. So when it comes to barbering, like, they want to see you cut. They want to see you how you live your life and what you can get out of cutting hair. But if you take that away and you're a robot on one page, you're just posting cut, or and then on the other side you have your family, blah blah, like, and you have it closed off. It's like, okay, this is it's not my mindset. It's the other person. They could be like, oh, what is he hiding, or why is he so private? Even if you just don't want to buy in your business, I get it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to buy in your business, then just have a barber page. Don't even have a personal one. Just that means anybody don't see it anyway, you know, like, or just have a Facebook. Just have a Facebook, like Facebook. Like, you don't need to have two. Okay, that's all I'm saying. So that's my answer to that. Is if I were you, I would make it one, and can tolerate, you know, what you want. You have 80% cutting, 20% lifestyle, family type stuff, or 50-50 if you want to. But I think you don't want to have it to where you're 90% lifestyle and then you're 10% business, you know, because I see that too. You want to have both on there, and I see that some people they'll have a personal account and they'll have a barber or a business account, and it'll be private. Like, the personal account will be public, and the business account is private. And I tell people, you won't grow openly with that type of closed access to your account, because they're gonna see who you are at the end of the day. So that's my answer for that.
So as far as having Barber in your name, I feel like if you can find a dope enough branding without Barber, go for it, because it opens the doors to really be a brand outside of just Barber. And then same thing he was saying, don't separate the two. Your stories are for your lifestyle. You selling lifestyle pictures, not pictures, but videos on there, and use your feed for anything you want to share. People tend to overshare, so they want to separate the two.
Yeah.
You want to balance that. As a barber, you are the business, you are the brand. You should have both of those together.
Exactly.
Finesse them cuts.
Finesse them cuts. Is that
Finesse them cuts is his Instagram handle.
Oh, okay.
Finesse them cuts.
Yeah, finesse them cuts.
Finesse them
the
cuts.
Instagram handle.
The
All right.
is different out there.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I'm younger, but I had to really grasp onto that. Okay, finesse them cuts.
I just got out of barber school. I'm in a shop that I don't feel like represents the style of cuts that I want to do, and I don't feel like I'm growing.
Go ahead, you take it.
What do you guys suggest?
Best advice I ever got was you should never settle into a shop you don't fit into, and you should go, when you first start, you should go to 2 to 3 shops and see what your vibe is. Just because you don't fit the cuts doesn't mean that's not where you want to be, but you should love where you're at. Like, if it's not the vibe you're going for, leave now, because you're not about to put no type of work in for yourself.
Yeah, it's just like, make sure you go, look at a few houses before you go buy one. It's gonna be your home. It's gonna be your second home. It's the same thing. I feel like when you're looking for shops, I tell my students this all the time. Don't just go to anything. The shop might be booth on commission. They might charge you this and that. They might do different haircuts. They might not like the style of cut you like. So you got to make sure that you're paying, like I said, pay attention to everything: the ownership, professionalism, traffic, style of cutting, theme. Because you don't want to be in a traditional old school barbershop and you're out here putting out drop fades and enhancements and stuff. Like, you don't want to be. You don't got to sink in. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be. You don't want to sell yourself short, because then that means that in that shop you're not going to get that type of clientele. But also too, like they said, when you're passing out cars, people, or you're looking for shops in the same aspect, look for a shop you're gonna fit into that fits your your cravings, your hunger that you actually want to achieve. I think that's what a lot of people don't look for. They just see a shop, and then that status of being a barber in the shop is what people go for more than actually knowing if they're even ready to be in one. I feel like if you can't find one, or if you're not ready, then keep growing at home or wherever else you can that's allowing you to do so. You feel me? Because you're gonna be there. You're gonna be either feeling like you just wasted your time, you waste your money, and you're not growing. You're just holding yourself back at that point. So that would be my answer for that too, honestly.
I got one more. My man Yeezy, the Barbershop 18 says, how do you tell a client the cut they're showing you isn't for them?
Oh, that's
you gotta
pretty
be as direct as possible. You learn bluntness as you become seasoned.
Well, yeah, that too. You learn bluntness, but I wouldn't even say it's bluntness. It's so it's easy. So if this guy Chief comes in here and he's like, "Hey, I want to get that Rick Ross beard, right? I want a Rick Ross beard, and I want you to
keep it full."
Yeah, keep it as full as possible.
No enhancements.
No enhancements. Yeah, like on some real old school. I don't want no enhancements. I want it to be as full as possible, and I want you to do the head shave, right? Okay, cool. Now, this is the thing I'm gonna tell you. So first, we can do the head shave, but I'm gonna tell you already off the rip. Your beard is not gonna be as full. I'm gonna show you how it's gonna look natural, but it's not gonna be full how you want it to be in certain areas, just because of the growth pattern. You feel me? And then I can tell you that and show you that, and then pull up something that you're probably talking about. Like, this is what you're looking at, but this is what we got. So I feel like also when you're experiencing season, you have to know haircuts themselves without it being on the person. Like, I already know what that looks like. I know what a boosie fade is. You say, hey, I want a boosie fade. You're not getting a boosie fade. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like, that's not gonna happen. Like, you're gonna have to go ahead and take care. Get the rock. You know, get the Floyd.
Again, I have hair for the record.
I'm just saying. Okay, all right. Let's say he wants the Kanye design, or he had a design all over his head. No, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work for you. Even if your hair is capable of doing it, I'll take it out if it's you. You know, but that's like me saying, hey, I want a gentleman's cut. You're gonna be like, how?
You know what I'm saying? Asking to keep your hairline as natural as possible.
You know, it's crazy.
I get it.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I like that. That was good. But exactly. You need to know exactly when you tell your barber or your client when their beard is not growing anymore, like dead grass. You gotta water it. Restart. You know. You gotta. I'll tell them like, yo, we're gonna have to use enhancements whether you like it or not. Like,
exactly.
If you don't like it, then I won't do it. But just know that your client's gonna have expectations for your work, whether it's what they know their hair can do or what they think their hair can do. So it's up to you to not sell them something that they can't even get.
A lot of barbers fail to educate the client, and that's your chance to really educate them on what works, what doesn't work, what'll look better, what are the options.
Yeah.
That's our chance to not just be like, all right, you want it? All right, boom. Then they hate it. Then we get that complaint. But we do have a chance every time that happens to educate a client. Like, this is kind of what it's going to look like. I think it looks dumb. But if you still want it, we can. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I
learned
say.
The hard way. You're right. I learned the hard way. So this girl came in with her little brother, and it was a straight hair. And she was just like, just a little bit off the sides and around it. And line up the sides a little bit off the back, and I did exactly that. And then we brought him back, and the mom was like, "This isn't what I wanted." And I'm like, "This is exactly what you wanted." I did exactly what you said, do. A little bit off the top, a little bit off the sides, not too much, square the back, blah blah. And that's when I realized. And I had talked to my boss, and he was like, "You have to know what they mean. Even like, don't give them exactly what they say, because they don't even know what they're really saying."
Exactly.
So you have to know, like, people say, "Give me a 10 fade," or just tap the sides real quick, and it's like people say fade the sides, right? They don't mean fade all the way around. They mean the sides in the back, the taper.
I had a dude ask me for a 2 all around. I just did a 2 all around, right, the whole head. He meant 2 on the sides. He had long hair on top. But mind you,
that took a really bad turn.
Stopped me when he felt the clipper on top. He waited till the end. And said, "Oh, it's not what I."
Yeah, a lot of people are not going to be stand-up guys and tell you to your face or tell you like, that's not what I want. It's very rare when you have a client who's like, "No, you're doing it wrong," or "No, that's not what I said," or "No, that's not what I meant." They're going to assume you are on the same page as them with this whole dialogue language that you guys are speaking. If I tell him, "Yeah, I just want a little bit off the back," if I told him that, he ain't gonna know what I mean. I got dreads. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what you mean you want a little bit off the back? You know, tape. You know, then as a barber, you're gonna ask those questions. You want to taper? You want to fade? Whatever the case may be. So to that person, Yeezy, forgot the rest of the name.
18 something.
Yeah, Yeezy the Barber 18. Yeah, he said that question, and I feel like that's the best answer. So thank you.
My bad, Mr. Easy.
Yeah, my bad. It's okay. It's all right. We heard you though. We heard you.
I feel like I gotta deepen my voice right now.
Yeah, you starting to sound like this and stuff. So you know, you gotta stand straight and put the diaphragm in there, sir. There you go. Say with your chest.
Was there more questions? Or?
Yeah, do you have any more questions? No? That's it. That's the last one. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Well, thank you. If y'all have any other questions or subscriptions that y'all want us to look into, any pages y'all want us to look
Real
at.
quick, what do you mean by subscription?
Oh, there's other pages that's probably out there like us. I mean, there's nothing out there like us. But if you guys feel like there's some information y'all want us to look into,
I gotcha.
you know what I'm saying? Send us the subscriptions. Send us the pages and the comments. Share, like, all that good stuff, because we want to know your feedback as well and what you think y'all want to hear or see from us. And if you think you want younger special guests to meet the age requirements to be on camera and don't fall asleep, then you know, make sure you tag them as well, because I don't know, I just want you snoring a couple times when I was talking. Maybe I talked too much. I don't know.
So I've always wanted the chance. Can I get the chance to say the like, share, subscribe?
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to show it to my kids because we be saying this around the house when we finish a statement.
Yeah, go ahead.
So like, share, subscribe, SBHD.
Yep.
Did I say that right?
Yeah, you got a lot of hand gestures.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Hey, you over there. Like, share.
So when I used to watch commercials, it used to be all in the...
Give me a high five.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, like, share, subscribe. Welcome. Or no, goodbye.
He said welcome at the end.
But, yeah,
oh my gosh.
But thank you for having me on the show.
No problem.
I hope we touched some. I think we could definitely talk about a lot more.
Yeah.
But we did cover a good amount of things.
Information, topics, all that good stuff.
And yeah, if y'all need more info, just
yes, sir.
reach out to them.
All right, what he said exactly. But thank you again. This is SBHD podcast here in the High Desert. Sitting here with Chief Barber, my boy. Is Barber J, and make sure you guys go ahead and follow and subscribe to SB Academy, SB Pro Barber, and People's Media Pro. Thank you.